everyone. Welcome to the Blackness Fine Art Show. We'll be interviewing with lovely, absolutely beautiful, magnificent. I don't know what I can say about her because she is just really awesome. Miss Corinthia Peoples. She is the jewelry designer of Corinthia Peoples Design, and she is absolutely amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This girl is phenomenal, and I just absolutely love her. And she and I met what was it, like a year or so ago. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring her on. I'm not gonna delay and talk a lot. It's 6 o'clock, and I just want you guys to be exposed to her because she is amazing. So here she comes. I'm going to bring on Miss Corinthia Peoples, and we'll just be chattering as people join in. Definitely join in and let us know you're there. Okay, let's bring in Miss Corinthia Peoples.
Yay.
Hey, Corinthia, how are you?
I'm good, Louise. How are you?
Absolutely amazing. Loving having you here.
I'm glad to be here. Louise, you know, we met in Chicago.
Oh, yeah. You're right. We've been knowing each other for a lot longer than I said.
And that was in 2017.
Yes. We met in Chicago. We did.
Right.
Yes, we did. We met in Chicago, and it was wow. Because I'm sitting up here thinking about Washington, and we were just kind of reconnecting in Washington.
Exactly.
It was great seeing you in Washington, and then turned around and we met in Chicago. And that was the beginning of our really awesome journey of just connecting as women.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Absolutely.
Yes.
I loved you the first moment I saw you. You adopted me straight away.
Oh yeah, well that's because you girl, you walk around with such a vibe that's just worthy of befriending. I'll put it that way. Worthy of befriending. Definitely
you too.
wanting you in your energy in their life. Just wanting that energy, just positive, that positive energy in your life. And so anybody, definitely a Corinthia.
Yes. Anybody that got some sense would know.
Exactly. Definitely wanting to have Corinthia in your life. So we're just allowing other people to come in because I want everybody to kind of get in on hearing about Corinthia and the amazing. And so I'm just sitting here. I'm sharing a little bit as well, sharing some more. So come on in, people. And let us know. And definitely let us know when you are in, because we like giving shout outs. We love giving shout outs. So definitely say hi. Say hi to Corinthia. Say hi.
I can chat too, right, Louise? I can chat in here.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you can chat in here. And we just love giving shout outs. We love saying, hey, how are you? Those kind of things. So definitely, yes, because if you are on your Facebook, definitely give some chats. Chat. Give some chatter. I just want you guys to know we are interviewing today, Beauty of Blackness Fine Art Show. We are interviewing today with Miss Corinthia Peoples. And so I definitely want you guys to, I'm going to put up her website so you guys can check out her website. I want you guys to go and like Miss Corinthia Peoples Design. Her business page is Corinthia Peoples Design. You can like her also on Facebook and Instagram at Corinthia Peoples. Definitely go and check her out, and definitely go to her website. She has some amazing things. We have a couple of shots here. I'm going to show, just gorgeous. She works in pearls. She works in just about everything. I'm just going to play her video again because I just love it. Do you mind if I play your video again?
Absolutely not. No. Let her rip. Let her rip.
I live for the day. Yeah, I fly with broken wings, and I'll find my way through thunder and lightning. I live for the day. Yeah, I fly with broken wings, and I'll find my way through thunder and lightning. Yeah, through thunder and lightning. Through thunder and lightning.
All right, girl, I just love that video. I'm sorry. I
I
love
love the music you chose. The music,
you
I
know,
was like, yes.
that's when I picked that music for you. That was just perfect music for you. I'm just gonna add a little bit of light here. There we go.
There we go.
There you go. Because Louise was all in the dark. So
There we go.
Louise was all in the dark.
Not anymore.
I got my extra chair over here. I'm gonna pull it over. So, but it's like, it's a little too much light for me. I'm gonna back up a little bit.
Right.
So, when I picked that out for you, I was going through so many things, and I'm like, I want to pick out some really a great music that fit who you were, and that whole earthy, that whole natural, that whole Mother Earth thing, and so when I found that, I was like, this is a perfect music for Corinthia. This it just expressed who you were, especially the thunder and lightning part, because I find you very soft, but there is some serious thunder in you, girl. There's some
Interesting.
There is some serious, and when it was like, oh yeah, and then the whole live for today. I was like, yes, that is definitely Corinthia.
Yes. And I like the part when it's I'll find my wings and fly away.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I was like, yes, y'all. Y'all have to put a rock on me, ground me.
Get out of there. It's like I know when I got that song, because I had to go through several songs, and I'm like, nope, that's not it. Don't like that one. That doesn't fit her. But then when I heard that one, I listened to it twice, and I'm like, yeah. We talked about that. I was like, when I did yours, I've done several guy ones. I've done several for the male artists that are going to be a part, and so this was just being able to do yours was absolutely. It's like I said, it was like creating art. Yeah,
because the guys, they run the art world.
Yeah.
And I think it's because they're more willing to step out. As women, we have other things attached to life, whether we have children or how we've been raised. We don't do it as much as the men. The men will be like, "What? Tell me what happened later," because I'm on the road. I'm driving.
I know they are out there with the quickness. It's like, what? Okay, yeah, I've had several guys, and they're like, "How many shows you do?" It's like, not as many as you do, buddy. So, how many shows do you do a year, Corinthia?
Well, things have shifted, right? And for me, over the last few years, since I've moved to the desert, things are different for me because the weather isn't as conducive to have festivals. So I'll travel. I'll go to DC. Like when last year we was in DC.
Right.
I'll go to New York. And in the summer, it's not as hot, but then it's indoors. So, Louise, I really can't say how many shows I do a year because my schedule isn't planned out like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm also an educator. The last year, I've also been an educator teaching first, second, and third graders.
Okay.
As a language literacy specialist. Really? It has been so cool. I mean, it's so rewarding. I've always wanted to teach. And I teach all the time. I teach with my work. I teach with my jewelry. But I wanted to get into the school system.
Okay.
And I wanted to dapper. I wanted to play around with that, you know. Plus, I'm finishing up my bachelor's degree. Okay. So I needed to create a consistent income. I couldn't be on the road. I want to complete my bachelor's, and
right, yeah, you did.
Decided to do that.
Nice. Well, yeah, because when we were talking about yesterday, you did say you were taking classes, and so you're out there getting your master's for.
I'm getting my bachelor's.
Your bachelor's. What sent you into that field? What sent you into that field?
So this is a long time coming. I ended up going to college when I was 21 years old, and I went to New Orleans. I went to Dillard University, and in New Orleans, I went to an HBCU, historically Black college. And it was awesome. However, I was way grown. I was real grown.
You were real grown.
I was grown. You know, most of the youth that went to school at HBCUs that were coming from Alabama, Tennessee.
They was baby.
Yeah, there was Georgia, the southern states. Very few of us was from California all the way west, right? So they were coming from Chicago, Chicago, Florida. They were coming from all these various states. And most of the 90+% of the population was fresh out of high school. So they were like coming in at 18, 19, right? I was 21.
It's like, move over.
Yeah, because I had went to JC. Exactly. I had gone to JC first for a few years right out of high school. And then I went to a university. So I was 21, honey. I had done life. And I was like, this is just teeny bopper.
Right.
This is so teeny bopper. So long story short, and I was in New Orleans. If anybody knows New Orleans, honey. So I didn't finish.
Right.
I didn't finish school. And my family was like, money's out. Bring it, reel that thing back in.
Right. You better know what you want to do now.
Reel it in. And so I had a choice to either stay or return to California and figure it out. So I went back to California.
Okay.
and figured it out. And then life took on another thing, you know. So I had to end up working and taking care of myself. And so I didn't make it back to school when I returned home because life did a whole nother 80 degrees, 360. You know, life has a way of just moving you in the way you need to move so you can learn the lessons to get you to your next steps.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So I didn't make it back until 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have a few more classes, and it's something that's been on the book. So I'm just completing it. Right.
Yeah. It's like you went back to that chapter.
I went back to that chapter.
Right. And now finish it.
Exactly. Now, you know, degrees, we've been told that that's the way to go. That's the thing to do. You know, and I don't know. I love being an entrepreneur. In school, the school system does not teach our children how to be entrepreneurs or how to be critical thinkers. I know I'm there in it, so I can see firsthand of what I'm having to teach these babies and slide in things. I gotta slide it in and have a conversation. You know, I'm like,
make it relevant to the curriculum.
And some things just go over those babies' heads. Other things, they get it. They get it, but I have to slide in the conversation, you know, on the left. But I slide it in. I absolutely slide it in. But they don't teach you to be an entrepreneur. And I love being an entrepreneur. I really do. As I've gone, you know, into teaching and coming back, I realize that I like owning my own time. I like owning my own destiny. I definitely want to create jobs. For people. I want to empower other women to start their businesses and to create and do their dream, their destiny. And it's a faith walk, right? I've been but I have to say, Louise, I was entrepreneur for 13 years.
And that's one of the things that struck me, and I'm just going to go back just a little bit. That's one of the things that struck me, what you just said, about how we college degree versus going out into the world. And what I like is you reversed it. You reversed it. You went out into the world and then you chose to go back and get your college degree. And that is something that we do not teach. That it's what I love about what you just did was it was a desire to complete it, not you better complete it, or you have to do this to get to here. It wasn't that. This was a satisfaction that you had. This is something that you wanted to do, not to be Corinthia, because you had already created Corinthia. You'd already developed into Corinthia. So the degree does not define you.
No.
Right. And
No.
so many people. And so let's talk a little bit about that, because a lot of times degrees define people. Whereas Corinthia, what was Corinthia birthed out of?
Corinthia was birthed out of, I'm a Southern belle with a city twist. I'm such a Southern belle. I'm from the South.
Okay.
But I was raised, I was snatched out. I was snatched out of the South. Literally. At the age of 11. Literally, school was going to start 2 days before I guess I was going to the 8th grade. Yeah, 8th grade. And my mom and family and aunts was like, you out of here. What? How can you just snatch out an 11-year-old for everything I knew, right?
Right.
But that's what happened. I got snatched out of Texas and put into San Francisco. At the age of 11, I went from Texas to real city life. And it was interesting because everything was Black. I grew up in, whoever is out there who's listening, I grew up in South Dallas, Oak Cliff. So my grocery store was Black. My school was Black. My neighborhood was Black. My gas station was Black. Like things that we did around, it was all Black. The only time we went out, me and my grandmother, and I was raised by my grandmother. But we would go shopping, honey. We would go to the white people. We would go in the white areas. And we would shop and we would get dressed up. And we would shop, honey. And after we shop, we would go have lunch. And we did that every week. Me and my brother, we would dress up and go have lunch and go shopping. So I also was born, I was birthed from the concept of little girls are made to be seen and not heard.
Right.
So I got told a lot, shh, you're too loud. You're loud. Shh. So
right.
I had to find my voice. And I'm still finding my voice. And it's becoming easier and easier because I'm wanting to find it. So it's like knowing is half the battle, right? When you want to seek something or you're seeking out the thing will reveal itself. Right. Exactly. Yeah. So I came from those trains of thoughts of, little girls are made of sugar and spice and everything. Right? Little boys are made of sticks and snails and puppy dog tails. I mean, literally, my grandmother would tell me that all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
That is
sit up straight. Okay. Sit with your legs closed. Don't put your elbows on the table. Girl, yes. And you know what, Louise? Girl, I went to charm school.
Really? That would explain some of that Corinthia.
Yes. And my grandmother believed that an idle mind was the devil's workshop. So I had to have things to do every summer. And this was one summer she chose charm school.
Wow.
Before that, it was ice skating lessons. And I've always been an artist.
Mhm.
I would jump around in the room, have big performances, dancing, art all over, ribbons in my hair. I would use tape as fingernails. Honey, my grandmother was like, this child, but I'm so grateful for her because she saw me
Mhm.
and she said, let me cultivate this child.
Right. Mhm.
She saw me. She didn't try to put me in,
A box.
mathematics.
Mhm. Put you in her own box.
She saw who I was. So I had tap dance lessons, ballet, gymnastics, ice skating.
Mhm.
I ended up being a Dallas Metropolitan twirler. She found this organization and they trained young girls how to perform in twirler baton. And literally we would travel. I performed for the Mavericks in Texas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we would do spirituals with white skirts and gloves and batons with lights at the end.
Right. Okay, so the next time I see you, you definitely gonna be twirling a baton for me.
Honey, girl, I'm fierce with a baton. Okay.
So now, how does this all translate into? How did you discover jewelry? How did you become Corinthia People's Design?
Yeah.
Where did this come?
How did that come? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it chose me, Louise. It chose me. I did not go out to pursue jewelry design.
Mm-hmm.
It chose me.
Okay.
I would literally at an event that I would go to once a month. And it was like a group counseling. I'm all about self-help. I love self-help books. I love self-help lectures. I love self-help videos, because there's some stuff to heal, honey. So, and I'm okay with trying to look in the mirror and ask those hard questions to myself. So, there was this group session and it was ran by Dr. Craig. He was a psychologist. And there was all these Black folks in the room, and we would come together and have tea and have beverages and talk and just kind of, I didn't know we were forming a community, right? So Dr. Craig would really just cancel the group. So this one girl, she says, she announced to the room, I make my own jewelry. Literally. And stuff inside of me, you know how they coined it the aha moment?
Yes.
I had an aha moment.
Okay.
And I went, So I went up to her and I said, will you teach me?
Oh.
She said, girl, yeah, I'll teach you. She says, but honey, I can't teach you how to design. Designing is your own thing. It comes from you. I can't teach you how to design, but I can teach you how to do an end to an end and put some stuff together, and I can teach you the basics. I said, that's all I need. And I had one session with her, and I just started going at it. And I was around other artists in different forms, right? They were either dancers or visual artists or capoeistas, a jewelry designer and maker. So one friend, he came over and he, saw what I was doing. He was like, oh, okay. So then your next step is working with some metal. And I was like, okay. So again, it just kept boom, boom, boom. And then I have a friend, Sia, who has, she has a studio. Shouts out to Sia. If you're in San Francisco and the Tenderloin, go over to our little theater in the Tenderloin. But she would do dance conferences.
Okay.
West African dance conferences. And she says, well, I see you making this jewelry. Why don't you come and sell it? And I said, what? Are you really serious? She said, sure, come sell it. Maybe nothing. Just come sell it. Honey, I did. And I came up with something and I sold out.
Really?
I sold out.
Wow.
I said, wow. So it just kept, and then, it just took, so for me, my brand and what I ended up doing kept taking on its own energy. My dreams kept getting bigger.
Okay. Okay.
Right? So before, you know how I was, I had card stock, and I was using pictures of girls that I could find, or I was typing in flyers,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
just all text. And
Right.
then one girl that I met, you know, nice white girl, because my grandmother did say, she says, you know, there's good white folks in the world. So there are good white folks. I'm saying,
Oh, bad. No.
yeah, there's some good white folks.
Right.
So she says, Corinthia, I noticed you're doing texts in your, she says, there's this program called Constant Contact.
Mm-hmm.
I'll set it up for you. And you can pay me a little something, whatever you think. You can send me the content. I said, wow, okay. So I took her up on her offer, and then there it go, bam, I started having graphics.
Okay.
Right. And then there was this photographer amongst us in Oakland. So I launched my business. By this time, I'm in Oakland, California. I have to say, shots up to Oakland, California, Oaktown. So at this time, I'm in Oakland, and there was this photographer, and his work, Louise, was fire.
Okay.
Fire. I was like, this dude is fire. His work was his photography, his brand, he was fire. I was like, I can't afford him. I can't. I said, but I'm gonna take this card, right? So I took the card.
Uh-huh.
And I, you know, and you know, I'm a spiritual person, so I'm a meditator, and I sit with myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I got asked, you know, what beats a failure, nothing but a try, right?
Right.
So I called him up, and I was like, I'm so and so. He was like, yeah, actually, I've heard of you. I was like, oh,
nice.
wow, cool. So he was like, well, I charged this, but I got an idea.
Mm-hmm.
I said, oh, what's your idea? Shouts out to Nana Confetti.
Okay.
Nana Confetti, Oakland. Shouts out to him, because he really
He hooked you up.
He brought me into the game on a whole nother level.
Uh-huh.
He said there's a fashion designer who also wants to do a shoot.
Okay.
He said, why don't you do all the accessories for her line?
Okay.
We'll do the shoot.
Mm-hmm.
You guys split the cost, and you both get pictures. He says, and in that, I'm going to grab jewelry shots. He says, because there is a certain thing called a jewelry shot.
Okay. Okay.
I said, okay. And it was something that I could do. The dollar amount was something that I could do.
Nice. Nice.
And there I went with my first images of my real work on a model.
Right.
And he branded me. He was like, okay, with this, if you add XYZ onto it, I can come up with your logo.
Wow.
And the name of my business at the time was called Adornment with Purpose.
Uh-huh.
Because I dealt with gemstones, and it had more meaning, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he says, your brand, your brand, your brand. Mm-hmm. He says, what's your name? I said, Corinthia. He says, what is your name? I said, Corinthia. He said, you ain't telling me your name. I said, Corinthia People. He says, that's your brand.
Wow. Wow.
And this logo that's behind me, Nana Confetti did that logo. And this was almost like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, I love your logo. I think it's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Peoples.
Shouts out to Nana. Yeah, he was like, your name, that's it. But he was on another level. Mm-hmm. So it's true what they say about having friends with people who are smarter than you in different ways, you know? Right? Because you don't want to be the smartest one in the room amongst your friends.
Well, different people are at different levels of thought. And that's basically what we're looking at. We're looking at people, and it's the whole saying about, you know, if you're going to be an eagle, you need to hang out with eagles. you want to be a chicken, you need to hang out with chickens. Right, because you.
Girl, you gonna have me say hallelujah.
Right, yes. You're not gonna fly if you're hanging out with chickens, so you better go hang out with some eagles. So I think you hung out with an eagle that day, and you took off.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And we just kept doing shoots, and after that, I started doing my own shoots. Doing my own photo shoots.
And so Corinthia People's design came into the world.
Was birthed. Yes.
It came into. I tell you that. I mean, that's a phenomenal story to listen to the steps and how you were, because a lot of times people are like, oh, yeah, I studied and I did this. But yours was more, you were inspired, and you were inspired out of curiosity.
Mm-hmm. Very organic.
Right. And then developed your brand from there, developed who you are. Now, let's talk a little bit about that. Like, so you've been a designer for how long?
So 2000 was when I started dabbling. I officially became my own business. I worked for the federal government in Berkeley, California.
Okay.
And I launched my first studio in 2007.
Okay. Okay.
So I would say in 2007 is when I became an official entrepreneur.
Okay.
Artist, entrepreneur, designer.
Okay. And so in that, like a lot of times when you start your business, you have this mission statement to create. What is Corinthia People's design about? What is, when you create? What is the purpose of your jewelry? It's like a lot of times artists, it's like, well, this is, some artists are like just beauty. Some artists are like this. But for what I've known of you, what are you promoting through what you do?
Uncompromising artistry.
Okay. Okay.
Uncompromising artistry is my mission. What I'm promoting is freedom.
Okay.
I'm promoting freedom to be free. I'm promoting self-expression.
Okay.
Of self-expression. I know we were taught, especially as Black people, and Black people aren't my client, across the board. However, Black people, baby, is the bulk. The bulk of my client because of my aesthetics. So we've been conditioned that there's a certain way to be, and as Black folks, what's interesting is that we are rather conservative people. There's just certain things that we just be like, I'm not doing that. We were like, what? No, So I urge women to come out of their boxes. To come out of most of the time it's self-imposed. So if you want to wear one earring short, one earring long, let's do it. We're not talking about, I always compare it, I always say, we're not talking about cosmetic surgery, somebody cutting them. We're talking about wearing an earring.
Right.
That's a little bigger. That's a little longer.
Right.
Right? So I'm urging women to be free and to be themselves.
Okay.
Rest. If you want to wear 8 bangles and you're like, oh, that's so over the top. Oh, no, I couldn't. Why can't you?
Right.
It's a new damn day.
Right.
It's a new day to do a new thing that you need to do.
Okay.
I promote freedom. I promote quality. I promote art as wearable art because my pieces are movable. I work with gemstones, so it has energy. Color has energy. We have 7 chakras in our bodies. Color is connected to various chakras in our bodies. Gemstones are connected to various meanings and have various and impart different energy as we're wearing it. Like today, I chose lapis.
Okay.
I chose this lapis lazuli. And lapis lazuli is I don't know if you can see that. It's a chunk of it.
Oh, that is.
It is a chunk.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
And then I have one down at the bottom here you can't see, but this necklace is
Let's see. Oh yeah, that is really nice.
Isn't that cool?
I know I love those, and it's like, and you wear them really well. Like a lot of women are, oh, well, I don't know how that's going to look or how that's going to wear on me.
Right.
How do you get them past that? How do you get them past? I don't know. You know, it's like I would like to, but I mean, Corinthia, it's like you put it on, and it's like. It's just gorgeous. I mean, it's just, you know, and it just, you know, I always do you like that. And it has something to do with the confidence you exude. You exude. And so how do you help women get past the, I don't know if that's going to look right on me?
Mm-hmm. So I tell them, first of all, that wearing jewelry has nothing to do with physicalities.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with physicalities. It has nothing to do with how long your neck is, how short your neck is, how tall you are, how light you are, how dark you are, how round your head is, how oval your head is. It's how short your fingers are, how long your fingers are. It has nothing to do with physicalities. Wearing jewelry is about the inner woman.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It's about the inner expression of the woman. So if you feel that you are 5 feet tall, but you want to wear this big ring on your finger, baby, it's all about the inner you that brings that forward.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? And so that's what I tell them. And I say, now let's try it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And they put it on and they're like, oh. Oh, then it becomes a whole nother thing.
Right.
It's about the inner woman, because you got to own what you wear.
Right.
You got to own it. You can't let it wear you. You have to wear it.
Okay. And so in sense, you, through your jewelry, impart confidence.
Absolutely.
You said that. You're imparting, it's not just wear my jewelry. It's, I'm going to, you know, it's almost like wear the confidence. It's like to be able to walk out in Corinthia People's design. You know, it's almost like the women that come to you, you got to definitely, you're going to walk out with some gumption.
Yeah, you're going to walk out. I don't want you to wear the jewelry. I want you to strut the jewels. Okay? Strut it, baby. And I always say, honey, you're the belle of the ball.
Right. Exactly.
You're the belle of the ball. And I want them to walk in like, I'm the belle.
Okay.
Yes. So I do impart that confidence. I want, yes, I do. Because, you know, a lot of times we need to hear it. All women too, you know, because I've done this to Asian women, white women, Black women, Caucasian women, Indian women, Filipino women, you know, whoever connect to me. Because everybody don't connect to me. But most people do. Right? And if they're willing to do something new and to treat themselves, and to treat themselves, then I got you. I got them. I got them all day. All day, every day.
And that's the one thing that I have noticed about you. And we've talked about that before, as far as you being who you are. And one of the things that you had told me when we spoke is that you literally had to give yourself permission to be who you are. Because I always tease you a little bit about you're like about the sensuality of Corinthia. And I said you exude it. You just it's not something you have to fabricate. It's not something you have to make up. And that's what I think those are the kind of things that, do you feel like that draws people to you and your jewelry, is that you are, you know, I find that your jewelry, do you find that your jewelry is somewhat sensual as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because, you know, I have pieces that go down your back and go down your front. And then I would turn them and they're movable, you know. they go down the cleavage area, and they sit, and I go, well, don't move them, just let it sit and just let it nestle inside.
Right.
Let it nestle inside of the girls, So I guess it is a part of accepting what we have. We all have different things, different sizes, different shapes.
Right.
But it's about being okay with those different sizes and those different shapes. So yes, I have to give myself permission to be me. But are the jewelry sensuous? I think what happens is that my energy comes forward on the jewelry.
Exactly.
I don't make stuff like, I'm gonna make this sexy.
Right. Now, I don't think you have to. And I've told you that. It's like, because even as an artist, you're in that art. And so Corinthia is going to be in the jewelry.
Exactly.
And it's like, I like what you just said is when you say, let it just fall where it is and just let it nestle there. And that's one of the things, women are intimidated about letting things fall within their cleavage or attracting that attention to certain parts of their bodies. And but you're pretty free. It's like when I first met you, I'm like, this child is just, you had on this cute little top and you were just doing your little twirl and just being Corinthia. And a lot of people do not have that freedom. And I did notice when people did come to your space and when you did share with them, there wasn't any, the negative vibe was not there. Sometimes it's like, is this the person that wants my jewelry? It wasn't. It was more, what can I do to make this person who she is or who they are? It's like, how can I help you? How can I help you?
Yeah, because you know what, Louise? I'm genuinely interested in people. I'm genuinely interested in people. And
right.
So, like, I like hearing people's stories. I like hearing people's journeys and what they've gone through and, what's going on with them. And I want to hear them, So I genuinely like people.
Okay.
And I think, because I just be chatty Cathy, just chatting it up. And then they will have to say, well, child, wait a minute, what you got over here?
Exactly.
Can you move aside? Let me see. And I'm like, oh, yes, by all means. But it's human interaction, authentically human interaction.
Right.
Because what I do know and what I learned pretty early on as an entrepreneur, and I don't know where it came from. I have to say that it was just divinely placed. I knew that my blessings would come from above and my ancestors. And the people that they were going to send to bless me were already in alignment. So yeah, there's been times where I'm like, oh my God, I need to pay X, Y, Z, and I need to make this kind of money to do that. And someone who I just spent time with that I thought would buy, didn't buy. But instead of me being discouraged, I would always say to myself, that wasn't my blessing. That wasn't my blessing. And I would wait for my blessing. And sure enough, it would
show up. There you go. Yes. Yes.
And even when, we've done shows and, there's a room full of artists, right? And there's been a room full of jewelry designers.
Oh, yes.
And I've always had the thought that there's enough for everybody. There's enough.
Your people are your people.
Yeah. and not think that it's scarcity.
Right. So I like that.
Help me keep a peaceful way and continue to connect with people genuinely.
Well, I just want to say we are interviewing live with Miss Corinthia Peoples. I just want to share with you guys to go and like her on her. She has a business page on Facebook, and it is Corinthia Peoples Designs. Definitely go and check her out. Like her page, follow her on Instagram and Instagram and Facebook. She has an Instagram and Facebook. Her regular Facebook page is just Corinthia Peoples. Definitely go and follow her on that. And I just go and check out her website. Her website is pretty phenomenal. I'm going to leave that up for a little while and let you guys, so that way you guys can copy it, paste it, do what you can. Definitely follow Corinthia Peoples on Facebook, Twitter. Well, not Twitter, because we didn't put Twitter up, but she is on
Facebook, Instagram.
Right. Yeah. So Facebook and Instagram, definitely follow her. She's doing some amazing stuff. So follow her on those. She goes live on Facebook on Wednesday. She has a show coming up on July 1st at 6 o'clock PST time, 7 MST time, and 9 EST time. EST time on Facebook. If you definitely go and like her page, because then you'll get all of her updates and you'll know. And she's selling jewelry. I'm just waiting for my piece of jewelry to come. I was hoping that it would be here already. So that
have you checked your mailbox?
Yeah, it hasn't gone.
You're probably gonna get it Monday. It's the sent.
Yeah, so I know. And so I was hoping I'd have my Corinthia Peoples bracelet on, but I got a different artist bracelet on today. But definitely check it out. She has some amazing deals going on, and you definitely want to get in on those. I put this up. This is her page. This is her right here, so that you can see it. It's her live post. So if you go to and like her page, you will get that, and she will definitely be like, Corinthia, it's Corinthia Peoples. She has some beautiful, what do you call these, flyers, or I don't know what you call those. Let's see, Facebook. Okay, post that.
What you just showed?
Yeah,
flyers or photography. Yeah.
Right. She has those. Those are absolutely phenomenal. Here, we're going to go ahead and post this for you guys so you can like her link that she just sent me. If I can get it to go. There we go. There we go. Right there. Facebook at Corinthia Peoples. Definitely click on that, like it, follow her so you can see, so you can check out what's going on with Corinthia coming up. I just wanted to share those things with you, and then we're going to come back into our interview. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you a few of Corinthia's designs that we have here, and maybe she can tell you a little bit about the ones that I show you. Okay, let's put up this one first, right here. It's a beautiful piece of pearl.
Yeah. So these are freshwater pearls and sterling silver. And all of the silver is sterling. It's layered. This is for the woman who is an executive. It is layered twice. It's the one with the circle, that's one piece, and then the other one is a layered piece. You can't see the back of it, but the back of it has silver on one side and then pearls on the other side. Mm-hmm. Freshwater pearls are the pearls for the girls. Pearls are for the girls.
Now, okay, so that's all one piece.
Yeah, all those layers are all one piece.
Okay, and then can they find this on your website?
No, they cannot find that on my website. My pieces are one of a kind, limited edition, okay. So that piece has sold. Okay. So I encourage you, if you see things that you like with me as currently or as time moves forward, get your pieces, because they do go. Mm-hmm. I do one of a kinds or limited editions.
Okay.
Sometimes when I shop for my stones, I can't find the stone again, or I can't find that particular pearl, or I'm capping out at, it depends on how many, 6, 12, 24 max. So I don't mass produce. I don't mass produce pieces.
How much would something like that cost?
That necklace I think was $330.
Okay. All right, we're gonna share another one.
$130, not $3,000. Yet, I mean, hey, if you want to pay $3,000,
there you go.
Absolutely. And you know, that's my next big dream. I'm wanting to sell pieces that are that much, or not. Or maybe so. I don't know.
I'm all for it. $3,000 pieces. I was just curious because I liked it. I'm a pearl girl. So let's look
at a pearl girl.
I'm a pearl
but
girl.
Yeah, so I can do that again. So she'll say that I can do that again. I just sort of
a little you can see us in this one.
Yes. So this is a carnelian piece, and this piece was actually commissioned by the Bellagio.
Okay.
Here in Las Vegas. So that is a commissioned piece. They did this shoot. They sold this at not the Bellagio, the Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. They did the shoot. They commissioned this piece. They sold it in their shop. So this piece was a carnelian piece. Those are all carnelian. And carnelian is the noble stone. The ancient Kemet used carnelian, which is the original name for Egypt.
Okay, that is a beautiful, that's a beautiful red. I really like that. That is very
reddy, orangey, deep.
Yeah. You can see it in the light. You can see the oranges.
Yeah,
it's very nice. It's very nice. Corinthia will definitely be with us. The Beauty of Blackness Fine Art Show. Just gonna put that up in the background, and then we'll show it a little later. She's going to be with us, the Beauty of Blackness Fine Art Show this September, our virtual Beauty of Blackness Fine Art Show. I'm sitting here. She'll be with the Beauty of Blackness Fine Art Show coming up this September, and I'll be showing you guys that towards the end when we replay the fabulous Miss Corinthia's video.
That's our anthem, Louise. That's our
anthem. We're going to live for today.
Yeah,
I love that. We're going to have to think about that from what we talked about because I like the live for today.
I like that too.
I like that too. When we get together with it, Corinthia and I is hashing out some stuff. So Corinthia, what?
And you know, Louise, sometimes my mind can't even go past the day.
Yeah. Really? It's like you're just, but that's just it. Sometimes people don't know how to live in the moment. And sometimes it's up to, and that's just it. It's like, how do we stay in the moment? Because we're always somewhere else all the time. So that's a good thing. It's like, I can't go past the day because you're enjoying it. You're enjoying that day or figuring out that day.
Yeah. Because sometimes, they say how to eat an elephant or how to take this big thing that you have in your head and you want to manifest it. It's little bites at a time.
Exactly.
At a time. So sometimes for me, I have to take it a day at a time, a moment at a time. I'm getting better at projecting, but sometimes I'm just like, I can't. I gotta tell you. I have to tell you tomorrow.
That's good though, because sometimes people are like, because it's funny. I'm going to tell you this story. It's your interview, but I'm going to share this story.
Yeah, share it.
I was, my son and I, we were doing some, I was working with a friend. She did a garage sale, so I was hanging out with her, doing a garage sale with her. But my son was also going to a market because I have things in the shop, vintage things in the shop. And so he was going to the market, and I was by the car. And I told him to put something in the car. And I said, put it over in the car. I'm pointing. He said, left or right? I said, over in the car, this way. And he said, left or right? I'm like, I'm pointing this way. And he said, Mom, why didn't you just say left or right? I said, because it just wasn't there. It wasn't, it was not in my head. I'm like, that was, and that's the funny
over there. Yes.
That's the thing. It's like that funny part was just not there. And so I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But it wasn't there that moment. That wasn't in my head at the moment. it was just
over there.
Right. And that was just it. And so it's like you kind of have to be where you are at that moment. It's like, and it was funny because when I walked back to get something else, I'm like, I couldn't even think left or right. It just wasn't there. So I totally get what you're saying, is that it wasn't, it's like sometimes you just have to be where you are.
Yeah. And Louise, we live in a time of day where we have so much information coming at us.
Yeah.
We're in a world now of email, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Zelle, Venmo,
everything.
Wow. It's
right.
just
don't forget TikTok. I'll be TikToking all over the place.
TikTok. And then we have, and my friend today, she says, honey, and I got my king, and I got to make dinner, and I got, she's like.
And then you got to live life.
Right. Yeah. And, when I have my mom, who's had a stroke, and I'm a caregiver for her, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. So, I give people in my life permission to take it moment by moment,
right,
day by day. Call me later. And I've learned to be patient and say, okay, while this person's figuring out, what can I do?
Right.
To move on, but we have to be patient with each other in these times. Even though we live in an instant world.
Yes.
I'm not an instant girl.
Right. Because you're right. You have to learn patience. You have to learn to take your own time.
Yeah.
And not because we live in a world that's going like this.
In all kind of ways, intersecting.
And then you have to, within yourself, and how do you go about doing that in your life? How do you're constantly in this world, and then Corinthia is like here. So how do you go about doing that?
Go about what? Being still, or
how do you create your own energy? How do you create your own center?
Woo. Number one, I meditate. I'm a meditator. So, and that's when I get out the bed. I go straight to the floor. I go straight to the floor before I turn on my phone. And sometimes it's hard because being that I just started the online Facebook Live, I got all these things in my head. I'm like, I want to do this. I want to learn that. I want to create this. I want to try my hand at that. Because this is all new, because being that there's no shows due to COVID, it's bringing everything in. I'm at home more. I'm spending time here. I'm in my studio. Everything is
right here,
consolidated, and I like it.
Right.
I like it. Sometimes I get up from my chair after sitting in it for 8 hours. At home, at 8 hours, sometimes till 2 and 3 in the morning, I'm in the same spot. And I get up, of course I take little breaks, but I go right back to that same spot. But I get up and I just go, oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Just let me just say, I just want to say something about gratitude. Thank you. Thank you for my home. Thank you for electricity. Thank you for my hands. Thank you for my fingers. Thank you for my voice. Thank you for the body you put me in. I accept it.
Right.
So I just go, thank you. Because it could look a whole lot different.
Yeah.
So I go into gratitude a lot. And it's interesting. Gratitude is very interesting. Because instead of complaining, I'd be like, oh my God, is this person not going to do this? Or is that going to arrive on time? And I just start thinking it. I start thinking the thing. I start thinking the thank you for arriving. Thank you for being on time. And then I go, Corinthia, don't panic. Like literally, if I have 30 minutes before I have to be on this video, I go, don't panic. You got 30 minutes. A lot can happen in 30 minutes. I know you have 3 boys, a husband, and 2 businesses. Honey, I know you know. And I go, wait, I got 2 hours. Like literally, I go, it's okay. You got 2 hours. You don't have to panic. You got 2 hours. You got 90 minutes.
It's like, let me break this down.
Yes. And let me breathe. Let me center. Because sometimes I just be like, oh my God, you know.
Yeah.
And I use things like sage. I use incense. I use candles. I use elements. I use events to connect with the mother.
Right.
With the frame, with the mother. Yeah.
I like that. I like how you center yourself. And yes, I do have to constantly with 3 boys and
husband.
Mine is always.
I ain't got the husband part yet. Girl, I'm like, oh, I'm a man. Even though I am divorced, so I had it, but I'm, you know, the husband that's to come, he will be my life partner. I'm already saying thank you for him.
There you go. There you go. I like that.
He's gonna be supportive. It's just gonna work. It's gonna work. I don't have to worry about the how.
Let me see that ring, Corinthia. Hold that up. Let me see that. That is really beautiful.
And it's cool. So, and I do have to say that my work is a combination of me making, designing, and supporting other artists. So I do all of my metal work I have done.
Okay.
This is a ring that I did. I designed it. I did 24 of them. I capped it off. There's no more.
Okay. That's really beautiful. I like that. See, I missed that one. I missed. So Corinthia, all right, because it's 7:00 and it's been a blast talking with you. But I do want to know, tell me, I know, because there's so many questions, so I'm going to have to bring you back at some point because there's so many things.
I would love to come back.
I want to know, who were your biggest influences? Who were the biggest influences? I know it's your grandmother. I know grandma is like, on top right here.
Baby.
Right? But who else was, and not just in your life, but in your artistic world? Who was your biggest influences? And I have just one other question because I want to definitely ask this question. But tell me, who was your biggest influences?
I didn't have any.
No, none. Not in the artistic world.
No.
So it was just all Corinthia Peoples.
No, I want to say it was all divinely, you know, it was just, so I've always had an imagination.
Right. Okay.
And I think creativity is currency. People, I mean, people say it a lot, so the word is overrated almost.
Okay.
But creativity is currency. Because that's all I had.
Okay.
Was creativity and imagination. My mind, you know, like growing up, it was me. So I played with myself. I created games with myself. I talked to myself. I had imaginary friends.
Oh, that was me.
Yeah, right?
Crazy.
And I think when you're okay with your, right, Louise? When you're okay with your imaginary friends,
you're okay. You're right. You got your own crew.
Yeah, people say it's the thing is, as long as you don't answer yourself.
Yes, right.
But I think you should. I think that means you're not crazy.
Right.
Yeah, when you answer your question. So no, I didn't. I wish I could say I went to Julia's School of the and I did FIT. Which as an adult, you know, I did. I went into classes at FIT in New York, you know, when I lived in New York for 5 years. But no, there was no book. I know. There was, if I could say, I studied.
Well, I guess what I mean is not necessarily influenced by somebody you were studied under, but somebody you, influenced by somebody you either admired or looked up to.
Okay.
Okay.
So, okay, Louise. All right, that's enough. Okay, good.
Okay.
So I have a history of entrepreneurship in my family.
Mm-hmm.
So my grandmother was an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather was an entrepreneur. My father was an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
My aunt currently has her own dentistry, and when she came out of dentist school, she went straight, had her own practice. She didn't work for nobody.
Right.
So I think it was having that piece, right? Because there were certain pieces that I think was already
in place,
in my DNA.
Right. Okay.
And entrepreneurship is in my DNA.
Okay.
I would say, and survival is in my DNA. And you know, Pancho said, he was like, some of y'all is just stone cold hustlers, right? I mean, I gotta say, you gotta have some hustle in you.
You gotta have some hustle in you. You got to.
You gotta have some hustle in you, or you gonna constantly be somebody's. You're gonna constantly have to bend. You're constantly gonna have to bend, and sometimes we want to just break free and do our thing. And you're gonna have to have some hustle in you.
Right.
Who said the phrase Les Brown? Les Brown said, you have to be willing to do what others won't do.
Right.
In order to do your dream, you got to be willing to do what others won't do.
Right. That's a hustle.
Right?
That's the hustle. That's the hustle.
I can hop on 3 planes and buy one-way tickets, right? And then get there and make the money so I can get the other one-way ticket back.
So I definitely got to make some money. Right.
And that's faith.
Right. Yeah, it is.
It is. I mean, people always say, you know, I'm this. I won't, you know, I'm this person.
That's definitely walking on water right there.
It is walking on water. But my thing is to test the thing you say you about.
Exactly. And that's what I like, is like, that is seriously why. And but those are the stories that bring about the change. Those are the stories that it's like, well, do I really believe it?
Yeah.
Do I really believe it? Do I really believe this is going to happen? And so to hear you say that, it's like that faith level. Peter walked on water because he believed it. He believed it. He didn't sink until he stopped believing it, till he started seeing what was on the other side. And then, and that's when Christ pulled him up and said, hey, you know, you took your eyes off of me.
Wow.
And that's what happens to us when we take our eyes off of that. And so totally get what you're saying. And that's it. It's like where you can be like, I know that I'm supposed to be there. I may not have all the money, but I know I'm supposed to be there. So I'm just going to step out on faith. I'm going to get that ticket. And then I know that I'm going to get back home. I don't know how, but I am. I'm going to get back home. God's not going to just leave me stranded out here. That's faith. That's some serious faith.
Yeah, because my thing is, if I'm given the inspiration to make this piece of jewelry, and I'm feeling like, okay, I got this money to book that ticket and buy these supplies, and you telling me to trust you on the rest.
Right.
What's faith? And again, entrepreneurship, whoever's listening to this, who want to be an entrepreneur, if I have anything to say, I have lots to say about entrepreneurship, but the one most thing that I can say is entrepreneurship is a faith walk.
It is a faith walk.
It's a faith walk. I didn't have not residual, but a stash in the back when I left the federal government. My first time stepping out at 20 plus years old. I didn't know, I was in my 30s. I didn't have
bankroll back at bankroll
to paycheck.
Right.
But I knew I had to go because my spirit was just, it was pulling at me. It was pulling. I said, I gotta go. And I remember when I would, pray and ask. And again, when I prayed and asked, I would go, is it time? Is it time?
Is it the time? Right.
Is it time? And I got, it's time. And I remember submitting my letter of resignation to Dr. Bill Fisk.
Okay.
Over the indoor environment department, because I work for the federal government research laboratory.
Okay.
And he said, he comes out to my desk. He goes, no more checks. I looked at him. I was like, do you know how many checks I'm about to get? Do you? I can't even imagine.
Right.
Well, baby, I'm about to get so many checks. And I left in 2007, unbeknownst to me, during what do they call that? When the bottom fell out.
Everything fell out. Because everything fell out. Trust me.
During the subprime, the recession, subprime. I left doing then, but I don't watch television.
Right, which is a good
thing. I don't watch television.
Following the news just depresses you.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of times, I tell people, it takes away your energy. It takes away your positive energy if you watch too much. It's like, I always tell people, I pick and choose what I want to grab and put inside of me. I pick and choose.
Yeah, because I think if I would have had a television, I probably wouldn't have left.
I know.
I didn't know what was going on in the world. People be like, what? You don't have a TV? How do you know what's going on? I could never. You could be walking into I said, no, because I'm in tune.
You're still in tune. People
listen. If I go to the grocery store, I'm listening to every conversation.
And that's what people don't understand, is that you don't have to watch the news to know what's going on in the world. It's like, I know, like people are like, I was like, I know what's going on in the world because I can see, and and I said, I have I like all of my people on Facebook because they give me tidbits of everything. I said, and it's unfiltered. And so that's the good part is, and then I remember in church, they would always say, eat the meat and throw out the bones. And I'm able to do that. It's like on Facebook, you can eat the meat and throw out the bones because you don't want the bones. And the news, people just take in the meat and the bones.
Yeah, and you know what, Louise? And if there's something that I need to know, I get, because people that know me know I don't have a TV.
Right.
And they will make sure I know you don't have a TV. This is what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's something that I needed to know.
And see, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I said, that's a good thing. I mean, that's a great way to get information, and that's because the news media is definitely not. But before we go over that, I do want to ask you the last question, and then we're going to have to go. Tell me, because this is a very important question, is how, as a female, because I have to ask this, how do you navigate in this world, this art world, which you've already stated feels predominantly male? It has this whole male overtone, and not only a male overtone, but you're also a Black female. How do you navigate in this world called art as this female, this female, but not just a female, but a Black female?
Very respectfully. Very respectfully, because what I do know about human nature is everybody wants to be respected. So I navigate, and with men, like you said, they dominate. Like we do our shows, we go to DC. It's only we can count the women.
Yeah, it was only a handful.
On one hand. In DC, was it me, you, and another sister?
Right. There was I think 3 or 4. I think
maybe 4.
Yeah.
And there was like what? How many?
Chicago was kind of limited too. Now that I think of it, it's like Chicago is pretty limited.
It's always like that. And I've been traveling with the Harlem Fine Arts Show for ever since 2010, 10 years. So, and shouts out to Harlem Fine Arts Show. Right? I've been, so, and it's dominated by the men, right?
Right.
I do it very, all I can say is respectfully, you know, I'm respectful to myself.
Okay.
Therefore, they're respectful towards me. And again, too, a lot of the artists that we work with, Louise, are East Coast artists. And the East Coast brothers got a whole nother vibe in respect.
Okay.
Than the West Coast men. And I've grown up on the West. Even the way, you know, men, holla at me or, you know, try to engage my attention. Totally different, East and West.
Wow. Okay.
Totally different. Totally different. When I say totally. So the East Coast men, they have a sensibility. I'm not saying all, but a lot of the West Coast men, they just have another thing. I'm keeping it 100. It's real. And I'm not saying all, I'm saying most.
Right.
I can appreciate a West Coast man.
Okay.
In terms of being a lady and being approached by them. So at the shows, you know, no, they're not helping me load up my car, right? Or pulling my stuff. No. But they will hold the elevator for me.
Okay.
Right? If I need a ride, they will be like, yeah, come on, hop in the car. You know? Or if I ask them a question, they'll be like, yeah, do this. Or if I say, how is this? Yes, that's good. You know? So I'm respectful. They see who I am towards myself. Therefore, that mirror reflects back to me. And I do me. They do them. I do me. I'm always the last one out the building. They already know it. Chris, the last one out the building. You know, so they get it. They get it. So I get it. Did I answer your question?
Yeah. And so the other one is, so do you do predominantly Black shows or you just mix it up?
I mix it up.
Okay.
But the Harlem Fine Art Show is the show that I met everybody at. Okay. That is the show that I met you at. And that is a Black show of Black elites. Okay. Okay. So that is, I do different kinds of shows, but I love doing the Black shows. Okay. Because we spend money different. Right. We spend money different than our other counterparts. Okay. Black folks, that's why everybody want our business. That's why Targets want to be like, we're Black Lives Matter. Walmart will be like, we're Black Lives Matter. The grocery store, we're Black Lives Matter. Because they know we spend money. We spend money. Yeah. So it's not a myth. If we were to shut it down and be on one accord, we could really make some things rock. We can make some things shake. Right, right. Because our people, if you got good product, and you know this, Louise, your work, we buy. We buy. We spend differently. Versus our other counterparts, they're a little bit more conservative with how they spend. Right, right. Okay. So thank you, Corinthia. You are amazing. Yes. So, like I said, we're live with Corinthia Peoples, just sharing her thoughts and all of those kind of things. I'm gonna put this back up. Like her on, I keep pulling all of your stuff in different areas. So Beauty Black and Word with designer Corinthia Peoples. I'm going to show you her website. Definitely hit her up on her website.
She has some amazing stuff. And like she said, it's one of a kind or it's limited edition. So I would suggest you grab it up as soon as possible. Right. If you want something, go to her Facebook page and follow her on her business page because she does post things, some really fun stuff. And she always posts gorgeous pictures. And then follow her. She'll be on this Wednesday.
Yes.
First.
Yes. With the things on the web that are not on the site, that has not made it to the site. So on Wednesday, I will be showing things that are not on the site that have a lower price points. I'm slashing prices.
Slashing.
With some really good price points. Sterling silver. I do a lot of copper. I'm doing a lot of copper due to copper having healing properties, good for joints and arthritis, carpal tunnel. It has a good price point. And it looks good. And it's, again, adornments with purpose.
Right. I'm waiting for my copper bracelet.
It's probably in your mailbox.
I'm going to check my mailbox today. Now that you keep saying that, I'm going to go and check my mailbox because I have been busy today. Definitely waiting for my copper bracelet because I could definitely use some of that.
Yeah, because you work with your hands, you know. Yes, you're cooking food for all your men. You know I'm jealous. You have all the men around you. You got sons and husbands.
Yeah, and I taught them all how to cook.
Good for you. So I know when they serve you, you just like queen bee.
Serve me, they feed themselves. That's what they, But they're good. They're good guys. They are. They're good. I love them all because they are. They're a blessing. You
and your son in DC, you guys were a tag team that was out of this world. I said, wow. If I ever to have a son, I want that.
Right. Yeah. He is definitely a blessing. That's my older son, Wayne. He is definitely a blessing. Actually, I just did an interview with him right before you.
Yeah. The one before. Yeah. Tell him you need to take that one artwork and turn it into a t-shirt.
He has all of them.
T-shirt.
Right. He made all of them t-shirts. Which one was it?
It was the one on his left.
Not the Love Yourself? He did one. The Love Yourself was in the middle, and I thought that was pretty profound.
No, there was like the two on the sides, and either one of those.
Okay.
He take up the whole surface of the t-shirt, and the way he is cartoony.
Yeah.
It's a different you wouldn't have expected. So I let him know that I liked his work. It was totally different twist.
Yeah, he does. He is definitely has a totally different twist, a totally different feel. But
it's unique, and that's what makes you stand out. So let him know when he does his t-shirts, I'll be the first one.
He has a lot. If you go on his website, but I'll send you his stuff. He has a lot of t-shirts. They're really nice. His t-shirts designs, but we're not talking about him because we'll get started. So definitely, guys, check Corinthia out. This is her Facebook. She'll be live this coming Wednesday. Like I said, 6 p.m. PST time, 7 p.m. MST time, 9 o'clock p.m. EST time. Join her live. Go ahead and follow her business page. Check out her website and go and check her out. Like her on Instagram and her regular Facebook page. Thank you so much, Corinthia. We're going to end with Corinthia's video because you know how much we all like Corinthia's video. So we're going to say goodbye, and Corinthia and I will see you next time.
Yes, please. Thank you so much for having me. It was such a pleasure. I had super fun.
Don't go anywhere.
We're going to have fun, though.
Oh, for sure, for definitely. Don't go anywhere, Corinthia. I'm going to end the broadcast, and we're going to chat after. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
I live for the day. Yeah, I fly with broken wings, and I find my way. The thunder and lightning. I live for the day. Yeah, I fly with broken wings, and I find my way. The thunder and lightning. Yeah, the thunder and lightning. The thunder and lightning.